And welcome back, everybody. TGD Today, right here. It is Pro Golf Talk Live with Hugh Roy III. What?
Look who's cheating. He's blaming me. All I got's the pin sheet up. He's
I
over
just
there with
pulled
scoreboard.
it up, and you're supposed to only have the pin sheet up. Good morning, Gene.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good.
He's grumpy.
Want to thank you for joining us today. Want to thank Jeff behind the glass for producing this today, but it's a special day, of course, first day of the Masters, and 2016. Very happy to be with you. And it's going to be an interesting year, guys. I mean, we've got one of, 89 golfers that could win this thing?
No. Maybe 15, and that's stretching it.
I'm thinking 20.
I'm saying you got 20 to 25.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I'm
good.
telling you.
Hey,
You know, there's other golfers besides Mickelson in this thing. You
Don't
do
be
realize
Johnny
that,
Miller
right?
last week in Houston, okay?
Okay.
don't compare me to Johnny Miller.
Well, you talking that way, you are, because you know what? Herman went and won that golf tournament, and Miller's talking about how he's going to choke and how this and that and blah, blah, blah. And I tell you what, hats off to Jason Duffner. Because Duffner stood up and said NBC was the worst I've ever seen in my life. And hopefully George isn't dying.
See you later, George.
Somebody get the defibrillator.
Yeah, where's the defibrillator?
That was so funny. We made him laugh.
I had coffee coming out of every orifice.
At least we finally got him out of the grumpy. It's Augusta week. And
Oh, my gosh. Oh, that was funny.
Good to have you back.
Yeah, thanks. Go ahead. Don't let me stop you.
Well, I was worried about you having a heart attack.
No, I'm fine.
But, I mean, I think there's a good 25 guys that could win this.
Well, that's what makes for interesting conversation.
And because of the weather and the way things are, it's evening the playing field.
I will say that the weather does bring more people into it. I will agree to that.
Okay.
All right.
still
Well, let's
gonna be
bring everybody up to
15.
speed. If you're not able to be on the TV or on your computer, which we hope you're on your computer.
I hope
So-
Betty's not watching Heather because she's streaming it live as she's doing her stuff at work.
No, she should be. And you're doggone right. She
And,
should
and
be.
by the way, happy anniversary to my wife. This is our 18th anniversary of our first kiss at Augusta.
That's just nauseating.
No, it isn't. It's actually pretty romantic. if
No,
you
I can
think about
imagine.
it.
It's not nauseating to think of kissing Heather. It's thinking of kissing you is the nauseating part.
I think it's sweet.
I think it's pretty incredible.
Really?
That's the word.
The fact that I ain't going there. Never mind. I'm just going to behave.
Okay. All right. Wiesberger is 2 under through 7. Tunjai JD 1 under through 6. I just wanted to say that. Tom Watson 1 under through 6. Tom is in
The
second
Swan
place.
Song.
Yep. This is his. How many? How many does he have in consecutive?
37 or 47?
No, it's 30.
37.
37, 38.
37.
Okay. And this is
odd
his
number.
last one, so that he will be a playing participant. He, of course, will be brought back, and eventually Mr. Watson will be put on the ceremonial hitting the first shots. He's in that group. You saw him, if you happen to catch the coverage of the par 3 contest yesterday, Mr. Watson was with Mr. Nicholas and Mr. Player. And Mr. Player, at the age of 80, makes a hole-in-one on number 7.
After Jack hit it about 2.5 feet.
Yeah, came very close. But Jack missed the putt.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. I was really hoping to see a 5 out of that group between the 3 of them, but Jack missed the putt. But there was a record-setting 9 hole-in-ones.
And
The previous
untold
record was
numbers
6.
that roll right over the edge of the cup.
Yeah.
It was like
Everybody had number 7's number.
and
I mean-
number 4.
Yeah, you're right. So, a lot of fun to watch. It was a lot of fun.
was.
Who ended up winning that thing? I don't.
Jimmy Walker
Did Jimmy win? Okay, well he's
set
out.
the record.
He's out.
He can't win the Masters.
Shot
then,
19.
as we all know, the storied
Shot
history.
19.
He had hit it 7 times through 4 holes. 7 shots got him through 4 holes.
Wow, pretty impressive. Louis Oosthuizen's at 1 under through 4. The amateur DeChambeau, the famous amateur. And by the way, folks, I'll give you a little heads up right now, and you heard it here first. It is being kept extremely quiet. But I got a little insight this week that there will be a pretty big announcement either next week or the following week of the manufacturer that's going to sign DeChambeau.
Cool. They're here.
So,
Look who just jumped in.
Jordan Spieth is 1 under through 3. So he is now tied for second. Amateur Bard is even par through 8. Dubuison's even par. Woods even par. And that's not Woods. That's Wood. Hoffman, Westwood, Zach Johnson, and Fowler is even par through 4. Grillo is even par through 2. Vijay Singh at even. Let's see who's up at the top of the leaderboard, meaning that they're having the worst day of anybody. Patrick Reed is +2 through 4. Stephen Bowditch is +3 through 10. Robert Streb has actually gained a stroke back to par. He was at +5. He's now back to +4 through 8. And Webb Simpson, who was quietly on several people's blip screen, he is at +3 through 6. As we go live here at TGD today, Mickelson's getting ready to tee off, or just teed off, excuse me, with Mark Leishman. Stenson's getting ready to go. Rose, Donaldson, Berger, Scott, and others. And in the last group today, one of my picks, guys, and I went ahead and wrote them down for you because Gene's accused me for the 7th time of cheating, is Rory McIlroy.
What do you think? You was watching, has he changed any of his picks?
No.
Okay. That's
No. Okay, so my first pick is Rory McIlroy. HR, who you got?
Justin Rose.
Rose. Gene?
Phil Mickelson.
Oh, God. I think I'm going to be ill. Okay. All good picks. Of course, we just talked about Phil being the favorite by CBSSports.com in their predictions. Also in PGA Tour, Bill Cooney wrote an article saying that statistically Phil is going to win. So obviously you're on that gravy train. That was nothing creative that you came up with, obviously. So
I made my picks last night.
okay, all right, if you say so. All right, my next pick is Rose. Who you got, HR?
Oosthuizen.
God almighty. I was again on the fence with him. I should.
I made
that's
my
gonna,
picks 2
That's
days
going to
ago.
jump back and bite me. Mr. Weldon?
Probably watching.
Knew that was coming.
Yeah, I did too. Him and Biggie.
Did y'all see the end of the par 3 when Webb Simpson made the hole-in-one?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't think they're gambling out there a little bit, did
Oh,
you
yeah.
see the reaction?
Mm-hmm.
Bubba,
Mm-hmm.
he's high-fiving everybody, and Bubba's like this.
Yeah. But then again, that's just
That's
Bubba.
just Bubba's personality.
That's just
No,
Bubba.
it
Bubba, it was
Oh,
funny.
it
It
was
was funny.
funny.
That's Bubba intended to do that. Yeah.
It was
Because
funny,
he lost a good bit of money.
probably, but
Yeah.
he was smiling.
Oh, sure he was. Absolutely. It was all in fun. Yeah. All right. My third pick
What's
is.
got you so miserable today? You just
I'll tell
wake
you
up
later.
on the wrong side of the bed.
I'll tell you later. I didn't actually wake up this morning. Stinson, third pick.
That's a good one.
Who's yours? HR?
My third pick.
Yeah.
You know, I was kind of torn with this one, and I've been thinking about it. And
This
thinking
means he
about
didn't
it.
have one.
No, I got one.
Okay.
I've got one. I'm going with Jason Day.
Okay. Solid.
You'll be the only one.
Gene?
I'm like that. I'm torn between two, and
Speak into the microphone. Gene.
excuse me, Zach Johnson.
Wow. Okay.
Good wedge player to win.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. As I mentioned off the air before we came on, we're going to do a long shot. My long shot, you know, this goes back several programs this week has gone with the question, who do you think will win and who would you want to win? Okay. Just because you choose somebody that you want to win doesn't mean that they have the capability of winning. Okay. It's just an emotional attachment. And I have up close and personally followed this gentleman at Augusta for 11 holes when nobody else was looking at him because it was so early on Sunday morning that the birds hadn't gotten up yet. Okay? He's playing against the marker, Jeff Knox. And I sat and watched this guy just absolutely verbally accost the entire Augusta golf course. I mean, seriously. But this is the one player that I feel this puts him over, makes his career complete. And that's Sergio Garcia. He needs a major. And so I'm going to put him as my long shot.
He'll never win one.
Maybe not, but
And I don't mean just Augusta, I mean a major.
he's my long shot. Okay? So, who you got, HR?
Kevin Kisner.
Nice.
I like that.
I texted him last night and told him to go out and kick blank and play like himself.
Okay?
And I just wanted to wish him good luck. And I mean, not
Super.
40 seconds later, I got a response back.
I figured you would probably go that way. And that's good. I like that because I
I think-
actually thought about it.
That kid right there, you let him get hot with a putter, and the way he's
I
been
love his
driving,
mentality.
I
Yeah.
like it's.
I love his
He's got a
mentality.
shot.
Yeah. You mean Gene?
Danny Willett.
Is
You
Willett-
said it was a long shot.
Is Willett even playing?
Yeah, he's playing.
I know. I'm just kidding. Okay, I got
I
it.
see something interesting here I'm going to bring up if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
In your picks, you have 0 past champions. You only have one. I have all three.
Congratulations.
Well
I just
done.
thought I'd bring it up when y'all bring the donuts
Please,
in.
please notice something too for mine.
Yes.
I have no U.S. players. How about that?
Well, I'm going to tell you this right now, guys. The reason that my number one pick is who it was is because he is a guy that, number one, he's English. Number two, he is very subdued, very point A to point B. And in this weather, the way this golf course is going to be, I think Justin Rose is an absolute shoe-in for a top five.
He was on my radar. I just didn't pick him.
You watch the way he's played. Now, he hasn't won or anything else like everybody else has done. But, I mean, you watch him. He's always in the mix, and he never hardly makes a mistake. And I just think that's what it's going to take with this weather. And that's why I picked him. I just thought
And
it was
that's multiple reasons why I put him on my list. I took McIlroy, folks, he has made it a purpose for the last couple of weeks to stay below the radar. He wants everybody just to consider that he's struggling. He's not got his putting stroke together. He's not at all there. Is this important to him to finish the golf Grand Slam?
Of course.
But he hasn't really been outwardly vocal about that. To him, if it's come, it comes, great, fine. He has purposely put himself below the radar.
He did step up a little bit yesterday and say that he was excited about his new grip on the greens.
Okay. Well,
That's the only thing I've
psychologically, he's got to do that just
Yeah.
to stay with the cross-handed putter and go that way. That's putting style, excuse me, not a putter. All right, we need to come up with a number in case we have a tie, which we never do. But we need to come up with a winning number. Now, I want to remind everybody last year Spieth wins this thing at 18 under par. I don't think we're going to see that number down there this year just simply because of the weather. So I've got the winning number at 11 under.
6.
Hugh's got it at 6. Where are you at, Gene?
What's 280?
8.
Minus 8?
Yep.
Okay.
280 is the magic number there.
Okay. I think the only reason 11's in any kind of reach at all, somebody's going to be at -5, -4 through Saturday. And then somewhere hovering at that number could literally go out and shoot 7 under par on Sunday. Literally could shoot 7 under on Sunday and take this thing with a 65, 66.
You know more about this than probably George and I do. What's 3 days of 20, 25 mile an hour winds going to do to that golf course?
That golf course is going to play. And again, it depends on what the committee decides to do with the sub-air, and the conditions they keep the greens in the fairways. if they let the wind blow and they keep it hard and fast like it has been the last couple of days, I'd be honest with you. After 3 days, if the winds, if the weather people have hit this on the head like they're talking about, I would say 2 under par may be leading this thing. But if you're at even par, you're dead in the ball game. You're good. You're perfect. I think that.
Meaning dead in the ball game is good.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
you're right in the middle of it, because if you're at if you're under par after the first 3 days of such wind and struggle, and then all of a sudden it gets perfect weather, perfect conditions, and you're used to fighting that wind and playing your ball against the wind and doing all that, your timing's going to be through the roof, and it's going to be, and again, that's one of the reasons why I like Justin Rose so much, because it doesn't affect him day to day. He changes as he gets there.
Do we see a full field posse coming down the stretch on the second 9 on Sunday afternoon,
I
or do
think-
we see somebody?
Yeah.
Do we see a runaway?
No.
I think you're going to see probably 4 to 5 people coming down the back 9 that can win the golf tournament.
I think you're going to see a bowl of cereal of people.
Yeah.
I
Really?
think there's going to be a ton of people that can go out, if they can shoot 4 or 5 under on the back 9, can win this golf tournament.
Right.
I mean, you could go out and shoot 2 under and win. You could go out and shoot 4 under or 5 under and
Well,
come from well back like Jack did, and you win. I mean, I think that's what.
Well,
we're
that's why I
looking at.
brought up. You bring up Charles Schwartzel. You bring up the 2011 victory with 4 straight birdies, and he finishes so early that everybody didn't even. There was no attention paid to his posted score, and then all of a sudden, as an hour goes by, that posted score is all of a sudden at the top of the leaderboard.
There's one player that nobody's mentioned, and he's had the best round, in my opinion, on the PGA Tour this year, and that was Snedeker
Oh yeah.
and all the wind.
Sure.
And what's
Sure.
he going to do with 3 days of wind at Augusta?
Well, I mean, you saw his name pop up on a couple of different
Yeah.
forecasts. The pop stroke, I mean, he's got perfect greens.
Yep.
He plays well out west, but is that pop stroke good for Augusta greens? Who knows?
I mean, I think the guy is definitely a person that can win this golf tournament and will probably be in the mix at some point. But it's coming down to, it is Augusta. And when you start making that turn at 15, 16, 17, and 18, the pucker factor comes in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your nerves, you go to tee a golf ball up and you feel like you're going to puke, and your hands, you can't get the ball on the tee.
Especially if you've never won it.
And I'm just saying, I just think that it's
That's
one
a
of
good
those.
point.
I think this could be one of the best Masters that we watch on a Sunday in a long, long time.
They're always good, but I'm
On a Sunday.
I'm talking about from not just watching one person run away with it, or 1 or 2. I think
Well,
with the number of people that are going to be in this mix, this is going to be something like you're going to go.
With the
"Holy
weather,
crap."
Hugh, talk to us again, your tour experience. With the weather the way it is going to be today, tomorrow, and Saturday, first 3 rounds of 2016 Masters, can someone play themselves out of this tournament? We know they could play themselves out of a win. You know how they talk about you can't lose a tournament on Thursday, but you can't win it also.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
I'll tell you this right now, George. This is my honest opinion. This comes from the legend himself, and this is how he taught me to play golf, and how I still try to teach the kids to play golf. You go out for the first 3 days and you shoot par. You've got a really good opportunity and put yourself in a
Because of the
position
weather
to win
this year.
Even par at the end of 3 days will be in the ballgame.
Okay, and that leads me to my next question. Again, we have 89 players that have agreed to play, whether that's, past winners, whatever. It accumulates. And we've talked about it, 20 to 25 of those 89 really have a chance to win. Okay? The highest cuts ever allowed at Augusta was 64. Okay? That's the most players allowed in a cut during the history of the Masters, 64. Do we see that number?
You might see it broken.
You might see it broken, and there again, you may see it not even sniffed, because I think you are looking, honestly, at 6 to 8 over par being the cut. If the wind is at the velocity they're talking about. Because like I said before we went on air, there's going to be holes people can't get to. And those that can, if they try, are stupid.
Well, considering you bring that up,
Seriously.
okay. Well, let's keep that thought, and then we'll wrap it up at the end. Jeff, just give us a few moments here. You've got the pin sheet pulled up for today. Okay, let's look at some of the pivotal holes that. I mean, we've seen a ton of birdies already on one, and we all know that the pin placement on number 1 on Thursday is probably in one of the 2 easier spots on this green.
It is, and you're talking at a hole where guys are probably hitting anywhere from 4 irons to 7 irons in there, depending on their length, and it's in the middle left. It's in a cakewalk place.
Yeah.
You go at 2. To me, 2 is in as hard a place as you can put it, and it's not in the back right where Oosthuizen held it for a 2. It's on basically 17 steps, and it's 5 from the right. So it's even with the bunker right there where that ledge
It's right
is.
at the edge of the bunker.
At the ledge,
Yeah.
at the bottom of that ledge. That's a tough pin on that par 5. And again, folks, you can drive it in the fairway there, but your second shot, if you don't turn it over, you've got no shot to that pin. Okay? The third hole, it's on the front. It's only on,
That's an easy pin.
but it's on 3.
Yeah.
And it's 13 from the left, so it's in the middle, but it's only 3 paces on. So you're talking 9 feet on the green.
What's going to end up happening there is guys are they're going to picture in their shot process, I need to throw it about 7 past and suck it back. And what's going to end up happening, we're going to see a lot of people hitting at the pin, level pin, and then sucking it back off the front.
Well, if that flag right there, if you're not hitting it 10 feet right of that hole, hoping it takes a hop and gets up top and stops
checks.
there, and then you're putting down,
Yeah.
you've got to. You don't care if you're putting downhill, you hit it right, because if it goes left, it's going off the left side of the green or the front.
Right.
That right there, to me, that's one of the hardest pins on that green. Period. You go back and left a little more, that's cake, because you got the hill in the middle of the green.
Right.
The fourth hole, it's in as easy a place as you can put it for a 240-yard par 3. I mean, it's in the middle of the green over the bunker. It's 27 and 13 from the right. I mean, it's, guys are going to be hitting.
The first 9 holes at Augusta National, we refer to them as the first and second 9.
That's the hardest 9 holes.
That's where the teeth of the first 9 holes start, is number 4.
Yes.
People don't think about it. They don't remember it. They don't recognize it when it's on TV, because the camera angle has you looking out off the tee box, and you don't see the 70-foot drop from that tee box climbing back up to that hill. You see the green, but you don't see that 240 yards between tee box and the green.
And it was such a better hole at 200 yards. I don't know why they changed it, because they took a really good par 3 that they could hide the pin and still play the game and still have the same scoring average that it does now.
And now they're hitting hybrids.
They're hitting hybrids, and it's a lot easier hole, but it's long. But now look at number 5, George. I mean, look at this pin placement. 34 and 12 from the right. So it's in the back right corner. Now, folks, you don't get to go behind that tee anymore because they moved the tee back behind the 4th green. This golf hole is an absolute animal, and nobody knows it.
Par 4.
You got the big bunker on the left. There's guys now, other than Dustin and Bubba, maybe a couple of them, guys can't even drive it to the bunker. Now you got another 200, 190 to 210 or 15 into that green, and now it's in the back right. You want to make 4 here and get out.
Speaking of one of your picks, long shot, actually, I was talking with him last year while I was at Berkman's, Mr. Danny Willett. And I asked him, what was your best shot of the day, Danny? And he told me, he said, George, without a doubt, I had put my drive on 5 into the bunker left. And for me to get out of there and just even get it on the green, he goes, that was the best shot I hit all day.
I mean, because that bunker sits into that hill, and I mean, it's,
To these players, number 5 is probably one of the hardest golf holes at Augusta National.
oh, no question, is no question about that. And then, you go to the par 3-6. They've made it a little longer, though you don't realize it. It used to be a 7 iron. maybe a 6-iron to the back right.
And they got room to make it a little bit longer.
So they made it a little longer. It pins in the front left. It's on 9-7 from the left.
That's pretty easy.
That's the easy pin.
If you don't get it to turn over, you're going to be in the bunker, but then that's
And-
not a bad bunker
But if I'm
shot,
not
so.
mistaken, where we were talking earlier, the way the wind's coming, this should be a little down and right to left, so it should make it cage.
Shouldn't help it roll it over.
Now,
Yeah.
this is the hole that used to be one of my favorites, and to
Well,
me,
number 7
they
is-
ruined it. They ruined it. I mean, that hole did not need. They wanted to back it up a little bit, fine, but when they back it up there and they're making you hit drivers down a hallway
And
into
Yeah.
that green and to not redo that green,
folks, if you get a chance to go, and if you have been, if hopefully you took this little journey behind the 6th green, you need to go ahead and walk back the 40 yards to where they will, 2 of the 4 days, they will tee off from the very back at number 7. You just need to go back there and, as Hugh put it, hit a driver down a hallway. And that's perfectly summarized.
I mean, it's like going into your
That's
grandmother's
what's-
house as a kid, and you walk down that one hallway to go to the bathroom when you get there, and it's like this wide. 2 people can't walk down.
If you put your arms out, even as a
You're
kid,
hitting the wall.
you're hitting both walls.
And that's what it looks. And it was that way even from the up tee when you were hitting, a 3-wood or a hybrid or an iron.
The
off
tees
of
they
it.
used to hit off of is directly behind the
But
green.
this green was built to hit no more than a 9-iron to. No more, and they have not changed it. And the pin is on 8. And it's left, so it's over that left-hand bunker. It's
Right.
an easy pin.
Yeah.
But if you're back there and the wind's blowing, and it's right to left and hurting you,
Right.
You're hitting 6-iron in there. You're sweating bullets. I mean, seriously.
I'm sweating bullets just thinking about standing behind that
Because
tee
if you
box.
don't hit it in that fairway, you cannot get it on
And
that
the
green.
fairway, folks, actually out there in your landing area, it canters from
Yeah.
high left to low right. And Hugh's right. I mean, it looks from the back tees, it looks 8 yards wide.
He's
It's-
dead
it's
on the
crazy.
money. My son and I put our chairs behind 7 green, so we could watch the shots coming down 2, the shots going off 3, and then the shots coming into 7. We stayed there for about 6 groups. One person hit the green.
Yeah.
One person.
And I mean, if you don't hit the fairway, you cannot get it on that green because you've got to go under all the limbs of those pine trees, and you've got those big, deep
And
face
a lot
bunkers.
of people that hit the fairways with their drive, they hit the middle, which ends up in the
right center.
first cut.
Yeah.
Or more than likely, it's going to roll through the first cut and be in the pine straw just at the tree line there. So, which means that they have no spin control of their approach shot. So it's a wonderful golf hole. And like I said, you start at 5, then you go to 6, which you can take a break depending on pin placement at 6. I mean, it's a downhill par 3, but you got to pay attention, especially on Sunday, because you don't want to be in that bunker with that Sunday pin placement. So
You don't want to
But
be in
then you
any
go
one
to
of them.
7, and then 7 goes, wow.
Yeah. Because it used to be that was a birdie hole. I mean, that was a hole guys are thinking, all right, I can put it in the fairway and I can attack this pin
Oh,
no
it's
matter where it
9-iron
is.
wedge, too.
Yes, yes.
If they screwed up 4 and they screwed up 5, they always knew they had 7 coming in with a wedge, and then they figured they were just
They had 8.
They had
Birdie
8,
on 8.
which would be an eagle pot and at worst a birdie.
Well, they backed 8 up another 25 yards. And you look at the pin on 8 today, it's only 32 and 6 from the right. So it's back over the humps. So when they miss right,
They got no.
they've got no
room.
shot.
Nope.
They've got no shot. You got a mound sitting there in front of you that looks like Dolly Parton. I mean, you've got a mound you've got to go over, and you can't even see the pin.
By the way, I saw Dolly the other night on the Country Music Awards.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looked pretty good.
She does.
Yeah.
And
It's
then,
amazing what surgery does.
But I mean, go to number 9 though, George. Look at this pin on 9.
What is 9? Tell us what 9 is.
15 and 5 from the left. So it's in that middle left.
Whoa.
5 from the left.
Number 9.
Don't hit it in the bunker.
It's in that little.
Don't put any spin.
Remember the one that
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
had so
yeah,
much
yeah.
trouble with? That
Yeah.
middle left, that one?
Yeah,
year?
yeah.
That's right where it's at.
I wonder if because of the winds today, I wonder if they've moved that since this posting.
I hope not.
It'd be fun to
That's
It's the
watch.
gonna be-
Masters. It's
that's
the
gonna
Masters.
be
If
entertaining.
they want to play, step up and
Is
play,
it 3
boys, or
o'clock
get
yet?
out. Or
Where-
get out.
Is
Where'd
it
the-
3 o'clock yet?
Yeah,
Come on.
where'd they put 10?
10 is 7 and 4. 7 on 4 from the right. It's on that little ledge on
Yeah,
the right
it's
front.
in the front.
Tabletop.
Okay, yeah.
It's the hardest pin on the green.
Let's look. Here comes the hardest pin on the golf course. Where's 11 at?
11 is 27 and 7 from the right. So everybody
If
that's
you bail out, you got no shot.
You
If you
got
make bogey on 11 today, folks, you
you
made
made par.
a good score.
You've made par.
You made a
Because there's
good
guys
score.
that won't be able to get there. Won't be able to get there.
Well, if they try to get there, they're going to end up in the pond.
Yeah.
'Cause
12 is almost a Sunday pin. It's over the right corner of the bunker on the green.
Yeah, but they'll play fat part of the green.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there is no fat.
Where's
but
13?
13 front left.
Okay.
So basically it's on 14, 8 from the left. That's easy. 14, back left.
Ooh.
34 and 5.
Ooh. Okay.
15, 16 and 3 left.
16, 3 left.
It's over there by the flipping Saracen Bridge.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
It's
you.
on the bridge.
It is on the far left corner.
That is.
16 is right there short of the bunker on the left. So it's basically, what is it, 21 and, say, 6.
Okay.
So it's right there in the little flat. It's not the Sunday pin, but it's short of that right there at the front of the left bunker. Good pin. 17, 28, and 5 from the right. You know, everybody was hitting it and rolling it off the front.
Yeah,
right of the
they'll
green.
roll it off the front. Yeah,
Front
it'll
right.
be very much like 3
And 18 is that back right.
back right. Yeah, and then they'll get back. That's fine.
So what they're doing right now, they're going back right, then they'll go basically front right, back left, and then they'll finish in their traditional front left pin over the bunker on 18. That's what it looks like so far.
Well, it's several holes on there. I mean, we talked
There's some
about
pin
it.
placements that, boys, if you're not thinking, you're going to make a big score.
Well, and I think where it's reflected already through 8, again, Beastburgers at 2 under par, Dubuison's at 1 under, Tunjai Jaidi at 1 under, Westwood's at 1 under, Zach Johnson's at 1 under, going back to one of your picks. Ricky Fowler's now gone to 1 under par. Louis Oosthuizen's at 1 under par for one of your picks. HR. Spieth is at 1 under. Casey, 1 under. DeChambeau, 1 under. He's holding his own through 5, folks.
Leanne's got the hots for him.
English, 1 under par. And Rose out on the course. Birdie's the first hole. So,
All right,
again.
don't close this out until I get my trivia question in.
Oh, you got a trivia question?
I do.
Lay it on us, baby.
Well, you've seen this funny little green hat I've had on all day.
1949.
What's the significance in the Masters traditions of 1949?
That was the year I was born. No, just kidding.
Any idea?
In significance of 1949.
One of the best traditions in Augusta was started that year.
Par 3 was 1960.
Pimento cheese sandwich.
You know, Biggs had a special on pimento cheese all week at this golf course.
Did he really?
Sold a ton of them.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, no.
Okay, what's the 1949?
First green jacket was given out.
Ah, sweet. Good stuff.
Nicely done. Well done.
Good stuff.
Who was it?
Oh, hell. Wow, I should know this.
Horton Smith.
One of the best swings in golf. That's the only clue they give you.
Hogan?
Okay, let's try this one. Hillbilly.
Sam Steve.
You got
Sam
it.
Snead.
Yep.
Yeah.
1949.
Wow. I'll be dog. First green jacket ceremony.
Green jacket.
I'll be dog. That's good stuff, Gene.
That's real good, Jim.
Well done.
Well done. Nicely.
Nice research.
That's why we call in the professor, folks.
That's right. That's right. All right, remind everybody of our picks real quick. I've got McElroy, Rose, Stinson, and Long Shot Garcia. HR's got Rose, Oosthuizen, Jason Day, Long Shot, Kevin Kisner, Gene, Mickelson, Watson, Zach Johnson, and Long Shot Danny Willett. So we'll keep an eye on those players and much, much more. And, of course, as I mentioned earlier in our broadcast, be sure to join us live Sunday afternoon beginning at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time right here at thegolfdirector.com. We'll be doing live coverage of the Masters, the 2016 Masters, the 81st edition, isn't it? Am I not right there?
80th.
80th.
80th?
Yeah.
Okay.
You were close.
I was close. same age as Gary Player.
See
So,
if Mr. Player outdrives Jack this year.
I'm sure he did, bright and early this
I'm
morning.
watching it as we speak.
Want to have you come back and join us for the live coverage. Of course, Sunday afternoon, there will be several local area professionals, PGA professionals, and just people that love the game of golf that'll be in here joining us in the studio live. So we'll look forward to providing that for you. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. For Mr. Gene Weldon, the professor, thanks so much.
Wouldn't miss it.
Hugh Royer III, thank you, Pro.
Glad to be here.
I'm George Honeycutt for Jeff Gilder behind the glass. Thanks for joining us again. Don't go anywhere, though. There's a lot more golf news and information coming up next.